evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the last episode of the Geek Tank's responses towards E3 2016. I'm your host this episode, Kyle Bradford. I'm joined, of course, by Dave, Josh, and Nate. We'll be going over Sony's press conference.
Yo.
Before we start anything, Jesus Christ.
So
what
good.
an E3.
Oh my
what
God.
a weird E3
This was such a
to end it on this note. Jesus. So, first I want to get just quick... That is true. Very true. I want to get quick opinions real quick on just the show in general, just to get a taste of how everyone's feeling before we go. We're on Sony. What do you think?
I thought that press conference was like really short but really sweet.
Yeah, like jam-packed hour of just amazingness.
Yeah.
Yep. Literally
Exactly.
no stops. I remember the one time they took a break to talk about something. I was like, Jesus, my heart needs to rest for a minute. Thank you. So starting things off, they open up with an orchestra. Not going to lie, classy as fuck. It was in a Shrine Auditorium, live orchestra playing the whole time.
Yeah. It dragged down a bit, though, the opening did.
Yeah.
The opening did, yeah. But, I mean, I'm not going to complain.
Not anymore. Now we've seen the whole show, yeah. But, like, when at the time, the three of us were sitting here like, okay, when is this going to end? Like, it's very, very...
I was like, this is cool music, but, like, what's it attached to? You know?
Right.
Yeah, like, it took a while for us to even figure out that it turned out to be the first game that they showed, which was God of War. So God of War was rumored to be like this for a while. What did you guys think?
That's so good.
Looks
Right.
so amazing.
My fear was that it was going to be more of the same, just Norse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I would have been okay with because I actually like the God of War franchise in all of its silliness. But this looked like a really mature,
very different sort of game.
Down to earth, very different thing. Although we like the entire time we were trying to think we're trying to figure out, is this a reboot? Like, I hope it is. I really hope it's a reboot. And
I'm sure.
Or is it like Kratos? Because spoilers for the end of God of War 3, like the entire world ends.
Yeah.
I was like, is this like post world ending Kratos? You know, because
Old.
speculation that he's alive. You know, it's
there's been a lot of theories out there on God of War 3 ends.
I think if I were to be honest, I think they just made this guy, who I would assume is just not named Kratos, just kind of look a little bit like Kratos to kind of connect you to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it ties in, if at all. I doubt it. But it is, if any. Like, it seems still steeped in more magical mythos than like perhaps Norse straight up mythology.
It looked pretty Norse to me.
Yeah, for sure. It's set in that world. I'm just saying, like, you're not literally going up against Thor from the get-go.
No. I don't think it's like you're gonna kill Thor and Loki.
Right.
It's more like you exist in this like Norse, Celtic, Anglo-Saxon mythology world. Basically.
I love that. Right. I love the idea that he has a them as well. I love that dynamic.
Yeah, I loved it too, because like the entire I bet like people who are younger than us might think like, and I don't mean like you young Nate, I mean like even younger than you, like might think Kratos as being a dick, like through that whole video. But I was like totally on his side the entire time, even though he's being kind of an asshole. Yeah. But it's like when
he's a real Ned Stark
asshole. Yeah, but when he's an asshole in the old series, like in the normal series, he just seems like an asshole. But here it's like when he's being kind of a dick, it's like tough love, sort of.
Right.
You know, I loved that moment too at the end of the trailer where, like, you can tell his son's kind of emotional after they have to kill the deer, and he like reaches to put his hand on him,
and he's
and
like,
then
no, you got to finish what you did.
Yeah.
That was really good.
But he like reaches out to touch his shoulder to like console him, and then realizes that would be showing weakness, so he doesn't, and then he just grabs the knife instead. I was like, man, they're doing it. This is great. I was like, this is so good.
Really blew me away.
Really
was not surprising. First off, that strong of an opening, because last year we had The Last Guardian, which was another very strong year, but this year, like, holy shit, it just is like beat after beat after beat. So, does anyone have any more thoughts on God of War?
Can't wait to see more of it. Don't expect it anytime soon.
No, not at all.
I don't know. I could possibly foresee it coming out next year. We'll see one more E3 where it's like really ramping up.
That's steep, but I could
Because
believe it.
Horizon Zero Dawn's coming out early next year, right? Or this
They've
year?
had so long.
Right. They've had a while. But we'll see. We'll see
We'll
how
see,
things
yeah.
shape up. The next game, which was an original IP that we've been waiting from Sony Bend for a while, so we finally got to see what they're working on. It's called Days Gone. The show actually ended with their gameplay, so I figure we can just talk about it all here. But what did you guys think of that?
Very Last of Us-y.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
it was The Last of Us until they said its name.
Was Last of Us mixed with the Sons of Anarchy mixed with World War Z?
Yeah.
I was really like
World War Z, yeah.
Yeah, because
Also,
Zombies.
did you notice?
Zombies.
Did you notice the main character was Sam Witwer? I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Very
very
cool.
cool.
Did they
Listeners, for those of you-
confirm that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was him.
It's
It was totally
100%.
him. It's
Look at his
100%
face.
Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that, listeners, for those of you that don't remember or know who Sam Witwer is, he does a ton of voices in like the Star Wars cartoons, and he was also basically he was
Star
a
Killer.
Star Killer in
Yeah.
the Force Unleashed, those games. So like, just look at the faces, and you'll be like, oh shit, that's Sam
Yeah,
Witwer.
literally the same guy.
Dude's super
He's very
cool,
cool.
great actor.
Yeah,
Also,
I really,
so-
really like him.
yeah. But
But
yeah, I thought it. Yeah, it was like, oh, it's Sons of Anarchy with zombies, but it does definitely kind of look just like more Last of Us, which
Yeah.
is a little bit of a turn off for me because it's like we already did The Last of Us. Why are you doing more of it?
mhm.
But it looks at least good.
See, the
So-
thing is, like, I was worried the whole time that like Sony's going to be having two very similar games that are going to be presumably running franchises for them. Sony
Mhm.
Bend previously worked on a Naughty Dog series, and now they're working on another game that's very similar to The Last of Us. But the reason why I feel like Sony went ahead and said, "Yeah, let's go ahead and make this," is because the fucking gameplay trailer at the end, that live demo, where like there is literally tons of zombies running for you.
Yeah.
That's
Like
cool.
that immediately distinguishes itself from The Last of Us. The Last of Us is not that game at all. I feel like this is a much different sort of game, even though
Sure.
emotionally it's probably tackling the same sort of stuff. So I'm going to be
Sure.
very interested to see when it comes out how people react, because like I feel like it's going to hit the same beats that The Last of Us is, but from a mechanical and like just a gameplay standpoint, it's going to feel very.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So are you guys into it? Do you like?
I think it's cool.
I
It's
want to
fun.
see a little more. I think
Yeah.
yeah, I'm into it though. I could be. It looks cool.
Right.
I like the new title too.
I don't expect
Yeah,
it
it
to
is
blow
cool.
me away either. Yeah, Nate and I were talking about this during the conference too. Like, Dead Don't Riot seems sort of comical, so I like this new title because
Right.
it makes it seem like it's more serious.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
for sure. I remember somebody tweeted out their pseudonym for the game was Second to Last of Us, which I thought was funny.
Second to Last of Us. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So this this show
That's
just
great.
kept going back to back. So after a brand new IP review, they go straight into a Last Guardian trailer.
Yeah.
So this is the third
So
time we've seen it.
disappointing.
No, the second time we've seen it since it's come back. Didn't show much new other than like we saw another bird dog, which
Yeah,
was
there's
very
another
cool.
bird dog, which is its official name
Interesting.
now.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like we saw. Did we see a new environment?
No,
I think
they'll
we
look
did.
kind of the same, really.
All
I mean,
the same. Okay. But we did get one important piece of information.
What is that?
Release date October
Uh-uh.
25th, 2016.
No.
Fucking
I don't
wrong,
believe
Nate.
I don't believe it.
No
So-
buying a PS4 for me.
So obviously Nate doesn't believe it.
No, I'm in denial.
Why?
Does he really
It's
want?
gonna come out today. I still have a few hours left in the day.
Okay. Shyamalan's gonna come out, drop it on. Just gonna be like, nope. Just
Yep,
kidding.
I'm also waiting
just-
for the BioShock collection still. Still got my
Yeah,
hopes.
that's. I love that we got a different collection that's coming
Ooh.
before we got fucking Bioshock. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on Last Guardian? Like I feel like we
Just-
talked about it before.
Come out already.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
So fucking ready for another Team Eco game.
I think I will pick up a PS4 right around that time, just so I can play that.
Mhm. It's exciting times, man. The next game that they showed off, New Horizon gameplay. There's a whole
Great.
gameplay demo that was shown.
Yeah, a bunch of new stuff.
Right. You can ride one of the little robot machine.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can like
Things.
tame them.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
that sounds awesome. Get a
Yeah, it
mount, just
It looked really
travel.
cool.
Oh gosh, and the game looks gorgeous,
Oh
man.
my
Yeah,
god.
I really
So
don't
beautiful.
need to see anymore at this
Yep.
point. Like,
I
I'm
agree.
just kind of like, can I please just have it?
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sold at this point.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
it's,
see
it's
it
fucking
anymore.
gorgeous.
But I liked. I mean, everybody's doing these like dialogue trees, which I guess is cool. But like that doesn't like that kind of stuff doesn't really excite me. I'm just like, all right, whatever. But I love the UI. It reminded the actual menus with the crafting and stuff reminded me a lot of Far Cry. It looks a lot like Far Cry 3's like crafting and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
The world map and stuff look kind of cool. I'm hoping to God that it doesn't devolve into like here's these 5 different mission types, go do them all.
Yeah.
I would be kind of sad if that happens, but so far still really hyped, still looking really good. So
Right. Yeah, I'm very, very excited. I do agree with you, though. I hope it stays relatively structured, like focusing on a narrative and stuff. I don't want to be running around like it's Far Cry, but let's see. We also got Detroit right after that. So Detroit showed off something super interesting. I thought it was
so
great.
cool.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. What did you guys think?
It reminded me of Blade Runner a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. Lots of Blade Runner vibes.
And the Quantic Dream games have never demoed well at conferences or anything like that, but I thought this trailer was a great way to show off like the different scenarios that can go
There's
down.
so many different
really
versions
cool.
of that one event
Yeah.
in just that one trailer. That was really exciting. Just to know, like, you could have gotten shot in the head. You could push him and also fall. The kid could die. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, a bunch of different stuff, and I thought, like, I'm into Quantic Dream stuff. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of Beyond Two Souls, but I like one of my favorite games on the PS3 is Heavy Rain. So, like, just seeing something that is probably going to end up living up to
Nathan. Nathan.
Wasn't it
John.
Jason?
I
Nathan.
mean, Jason, not Nathan.
I'm
Jason,
mixing it in
no.
with the earlier joke about
I see
falling
what
off.
Hey!
Hey.
I see what you did. What
It
you
didn't
did
help
there.
full circle.
I see it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
These jokes are tangentially related. The Geek Tank, everybody. But you're liking it?
Yeah, really liking it. That's another reason to pick up a PS4 for me. I'm definitely gonna get it.
Right. Do we have a release date on that, or is it just next year?
I think I was looking for one. I didn't get one. I don't think.
Yeah.
Detroit release.
Yeah, I doubt that there is one. Quantic
Still
Dream, they
kind
take,
of
they take a while.
I'm still not a huge fan of like
Yeah,
Quantic
there's no
Dreams games.
confirmation.
I've played all of them,
Mhm.
but I just still am kind of like, yeah, whatever. But I love the premise. I always love like, are machines really alive? Like that whole thing. So the plot looks like it'd be cool, but I just am not a fan of games that are like really cinematic, where it's just like push this button every so often to choose
Right.
what they say and stuff. It's like if I wanted to do that, I would just go watch a movie. But I mean, it
used
looks cool, but yeah.
I used to say that like David Cage obviously is really good at making movies, so he should just go make a movie.
Yeah.
I love parts of Quantic Dream games. I never liked the whole thing, but
That's
there are
a
always
great way to sum up
parts of it.
Quantic Dream games.
yeah,
I love parts of Quantic Dream games.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes they're just. But that aside, the next reveal, personally, one of my highlights of all of E3 so far. So it starts off very fucking eerie. It's first person. You don't know what's going on. Somebody's talking on a phone. The like light slowly fades in. It looks like a VR game, and then slowly it's just revealed. Like almost nothing overly scary happens. It's just very creepy throughout the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally the reveal shows up. I remember we were talking about it in chat, and it just says Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Holy shit.
So
Yeah.
cool.
So Kyle, just to let you know, my friend who I was talking about posted on Facebook. He posted the trailer and said, "I'm finally allowed to talk about this." One of my friends works for Capcom, so it's like,
This is fascinating, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking fascinating, especially coming off of the lineage that recent, not only Resident Evil games, but recent Capcom games have had. To know that this is taking direct inspiration from PT and shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
this is blowing my mind. I never thought that this was a thing that was going to happen.
Mhm.
What are your guys' thoughts on the thing?
It didn't look at all like Resident Evil to me, but
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely
Uh,
reeks of reboot.
See-
Where's
Because-
Wesker?
seems like they're slowing it down, which I'm a big
Mhm.
fan of.
Mhm. Yep.
Resident Evil is way too much of an action movie, like an action movie now.
Right.
It's just like it lost me. The last Resident Evil game I really liked was like 2 maybe. Like I liked 4
2?
when it came. I liked 4. I liked 4 when it came out, and but then I tried going back like maybe a couple years later, and I was like, wow, this doesn't control very well. And then I just was like,
tanks.
I don't really like all these weird villagers. And then I was like, what is happening? And then after that, I kind of fell out of love with the franchise, and I really disliked 5. So I haven't
That's
played
fair.
any since.
I personally feel like
I only
5 is
say
a
now
bad
the only
rep.
reason I say 2 is because I've never played 3. I've never played like Code Veronica or any
Okay.
of those. So
Yeah.
maybe I would like those, but I don't know. So
I hear that people that like the earlier ones more like Code Veronica a lot more than Nemesis, because Nemesis was supposed to be a spin-off, but they just got excited for some reason. I think because who's the main character in 3? Is it Jill? I think it's Jill.
yeah, it's Jill again.
Yeah, I think they wanted to just focus on that, and Claire's story was like, even though it was more focused on the actual overarching story of Resident Evil, like blah blah blah. It's neither here or there. After Resident Evil, Biohazard, which goddamn, I love that fucking name.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? We have. Is this whenever VR stuff was
Yeah, they
starting up?
finally brought up
Yeah.
that headset. And
Right,
actually gave it a release date and its price.
right. So VR, PSVR, October 13th, 2016, $399. So about the cost of what everyone was expecting.
Yeah.
I guess. 50 games ready to go.
That's incredible.
So Resident Evil is going to be one of those. Resident Evil Biohazard.
Yep.
Also, something that hurts me to my core, Final Fantasy 15 is going to have some sort of VR capabilities. I don't know what.
That thing was so bad.
That was the one
Seemed a
thing that they
little rushed. Yeah.
goofed up on the
It was
show.
like it looked like I said while we were watching, I was like, this looks like someone's Unity project.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Really
It was
definitely
just like
bad.
somebody in the corner of Square Enix was like, "Hey, we can make money off." Like, yeah, go ahead, do it.
Yeah, just
So
do
you
it.
play as Prompto, who is the
Whip
most
it up.
annoying character in the game, and then for some reason he'd do stuff in VR because he's got a gun. So whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna promptly do something else.
But then they
Wow.
Whoa!
God.
Pew, pew, pew.
getting
Shots
intense.
fucking fired, bro.
But what do you guys think about the next VR game that they showed? It looks a little bit more interesting. It's an actual game. 4 points.
I thought that
Is
was
this taking
really
place
cool.
on a? Yeah, does
Yeah.
it take place on an alien planet?
It looks like an alien planet or like just like a
Maybe
planet
Mars,
orbiting Earth,
something?
maybe like Mars. Looks really really good.
Gunplay kind of looks wonky, but the rest of it looks really cool. Like that.
I like the vibe from it.
Yeah.
Like it's more about exploration and stuff, which I'm into.
Yeah. It looked. I'm into like space exploration
Yep.
stuff, so I
Space is
thought
cool,
it was pretty
dude.
cool. Yeah.
Space is the place, as they say.
Final
Yep.
Frontier.
This is true. I mean, Cowboy
Is-
Bebop takes place there.
Yeah.
It's just a cool
it
place.
does.
Jazz just constantly in the
I
cosmos.
can watch some more of that tonight. Oh my god.
Oh man, it's a good show. Next is the thing that if anything's selling me on VR, it's this.
Yep.
Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing VR mission.
Oh my god, dude! The
Yeah.
minute that X-wing like
Oh,
pivoted, I was like, Jesus Christ, I need
this
this.
is it, man.
Yeah, I was
This
gonna
is
say,
it.
Every kid's dream that
Right.
has ever
Yeah.
seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everyone who was all mad about how Battlefront doesn't really fulfill that fantasy well enough, this fucking
Right.
does it. I feel.
Yeah, I guess
This is it.
I'm the one who should be talking about this because I do not like Battlefront
Oh
proper.
my god.
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I'll say that if as a guy who has always come out against the Battlefront EA, I am probably maybe if I do get PSVR, I'll definitely be picking up Battlefront X-Wing. That is, oh my god, that was great. That was really that. Honestly, that should have just been in the full release game anyway. Just
right,
like,
if like Oculus enabled and stuff,
yeah, or just
that would be cool.
have them as non-VR missions too. I mean, just let people play.
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
nice, but do you think that they might do that? Like allow everyone else who doesn't have VR to play them?
Maybe, I don't know. That's
I could see it on PlayStation 4 at least, making it exclusive there, just because like
yeah,
Sony doesn't want to lose out on that. But
right.
this next one I'm a little bit puzzled about. Batman Arkham VR was the next announcement.
Yeah, it was
very.
whatever.
What does that mean?
They didn't show anything.
Arkham VR.
Means put the fucking cowl on and be Batman, son. That's all it means.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna do with it. I
It's
mean,
probably gonna look like crap if
Probably.
we're all being honest.
I mean,
It's all
also,
it's all
this
beyond.
idea that like you should want to be Batman. Who wants to be Batman? That guy's life fucking sucks. It's a very terrible, sad life.
Well, I mean, I think we're only going to see like most of the awesome parts. I don't think they're going to make us sit through us.
That's what I'm saying. His awesome parts are still fucking sad.
That's a good.
He's dealing with like his best friend hating him. He's dealing with like this fucking almost homosexual relationship with his arch enemy.
Jeez.
His psychosis gets fucking weird, man. There's some weird places Batman goes.
Homosexual relationship.
There's a whole book written about it actually.
Really?
Yeah,
that sounds cool.
You'll have to find the link for it, but it's really interesting. It delves into like the psychology of like his relationship with the Joker. It's very cool. Let's see. We talked about Final Fantasy 15, which was just the worst.
Yeah.
They showed, they showed an actual trailer, which was just like, remember this exists.
But I mean,
like, yep.
Yeah, it's just more gameplay from stuff we've seen. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's Titan, and there's the other summon. Yeah, this is gonna be my most likely game of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking 10 years hyping on it. Got to do something. The next, so they closed out PlayStation VR stuff. This is something that I actually found really interesting. They never fucking came out and talked about it or tried to hype it up. They just showed shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to be like, this is a very classy show. I'm really into it. But then, of course, right after closing that up, they go into Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I have been
classiest of games.
Of course, the classiest. I've been hating on this game for quite some time.
Nope.
But this may have changed my mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say like everybody who was talking shit about Call of Duty Infinite Warfare just kind of went, oh, when they saw this.
I kept thinking like everyone who was saying "Rest in peace, Call of Duty." It's like they're probably changing their minds right about now.
I thought it looked pretty cool.
It looks very cool. It looks awesome. So it
rare.
starts off with space gameplay, where you're in a dogfight in space. It's super fast and frantic. I love it. But then you exit the ship, and then you're like walking around it with a grappling hook and shit.
You're the grappling hook, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like them and Titanfall, just like they're just working side by side. It's what it seems like.
There's got to be some sort of like crazy hive mind going on.
There's
over
some
there.
dude like sneaking into Activision or some dude sneaking into Respawn and just like
right.
assimilating, like just putting on like a hat or something.
Every single Titanfall idea, it's like we got to put this.
Well, I will say game developers don't like. It's not like they're not friends with other people, right? So.
Yeah, right.
Like they all talk about like what they're doing because they get drunk at these trade shows together and they're like, "What are you working on, man?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm doing this fucking thing where you're like grappling hooks and shit." And they're like, "That's fucking legit." And then they go back to some meeting and it's like, "Oh yeah, we're putting a grappling hook in it or whatever."
No, it was an original idea I came up with myself. Let's see. So, Modern Warfare Remastered also showing up again. We've heard about this obviously before. I personally feel like it's looking really good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Like I'm on the edge now if I'm talking about what I'm going to buy.
You still have to buy the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Ultimate Edition to get that.
Yeah, what is that? $80, $70?
Yeah.
Right.
$80.
I think people will do it.
Oh, people will.
Yeah, it's fine. It's an incentive.
But
it's an incentive just to buy.
If you wait long enough, it's going to be standalone. I mean,
exactly. Most likely, yeah. I mean, personally feeling like I'm fine with shelling out a little bit of extra money just to play Modern Warfare 2, because as long as Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is fun, then who cares? Like I would wind up wanting both games anyway. So let's see. After that, we've got something very interesting. So Sean Layden walks back out on the stage, and his shadow is Crash fucking Bandicoot.
Oh man, that was so cool.
Oh
so
god,
excited.
My heart was racing. I was like, "Are they really gonna goddamn do Crash Bandicoot?"
They're doing this.
Oh god,
I can't take it. My heart palpitations.
not as crazy as I thought though. So what wound up happening? They're launching a remaster for Crash Bandicoots 1 and 2 and Warped. That'll be coming out on PS4, as well as Crash coming to Skylanders first on PS4, which is like, okay, that's fine.
That's cool. No release date given though for the
right.
collection.
Yeah. So do you guys think this is pretty far out? Because they have done remaster announcements at PSX that take a while.
I think it'll be soon.
It's a remaster, and they're all old games, so I don't think they're gonna take too long to get together.
I don't know, man. Day of the Tentacle. You know, how long is that out? We still don't have Throttle.
Well, that's Tim Schafer.
I think we're gonna get a release.
That's Tim Schafer.
I think they're gonna give us a release for Crash, the Crash Remastered Collection at PSX, most likely.
I bet, yeah. I bet that. I'm excited though, even though I feel like Crash Bandicoot doesn't have a place here. It's like, why not? People want them back.
Yeah.
Give them the originals.
Yeah, but the crowd
season.
went bonkers.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
it's a good game to show.
And like
Yeah.
90% of that was Tim Geddes.
Right. I was waiting for him to say something on Twitter, and then whenever he posted something, I was like, there's that little baby butt.
Baby butt.
He's a baby butt. Let's see. After Crash Bandicoot, another kid-friendly game, we got Lego Star Wars Episode 7.
Yes.
This is gonna be interesting. So, I like Lego Star Wars games. Fair enough. I'm probably not gonna pick it up, even though I'm a giant Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Lego Star Wars person either.
Yeah. It's also done by their B team. It's not really done by TT proper. But
Yeah.
I mean, from everything I've seen, it looks great. I'm going to be very interested on how they handle a certain scene. No spoilers, but like,
Oh yeah.
How they're
This is
gonna
gonna
make
be
that
just
funny?
like, yeah. I hope they go just grim dark for it. Just
Oh
make
my
it as
God.
dark as it is.
Grim dark, even darker than the movie.
Yeah, it's just like terrifying.
That's funny.
boy.
Any last thoughts on that game?
It's a Lego game. Never really into them.
Yeah.
Grim dark.
Right. Same old, same old. But the next game, definitely not same old, same old. So
Oh my God.
the fucking Shrine Auditorium, the curtains lift. There's a legend of the industry in the back of it. Fucking Hideo Kojima walks out to fucking Mad Max music, no less.
Yeah.
Walks
Oh
out
Like
my
a
God.
goddamn
of
rock
light.
star.
Uh,
I was fucking. I've
That was the
never
best
been
thing ever.
so goddamn hyped for somebody to walk onto a stage.
Yeah.
Man, Jesus. And we've been waiting for Kojima's game for not very long. Was it PSX whenever he came out and said, I'm working with Sony?
I think
I
so.
think
I
it
wanna
was
say-
a couple days
Yeah.
afterwards.
No,
Yeah.
it might have been after that.
But relatively the same time, at least.
Yeah.
Yep.
Something
Okay,
like that,
so
yeah.
that happens in December. We're here now. They've already put together a trailer and the world that they're setting up. We've seen the logo and we've seen like the character from the logo. But then they launched the trailer.
The
What?
best trailer I've seen in so long.
I've never seen something this good. In video game history, I've never seen something this
It
good.
was so amazing.
So let's paint the picture, right? There's a song
Naked dude.
being played by Lil
Naked
Roar,
Man.
which is a group I fucking love. Go check out their music if you haven't already.
I'm
They're,
definitely going to. I'm a big
They're
fan
down
of
tempo.
music at
Nate,
this
you'll
season.
fucking love them. I don't know if the other guys will, but I think Nate will like it. So yeah, we're seeing like what looks like a drained ocean, dead sea fish everywhere. We come up on a naked man who's laying like sort of on his front side, so you can't see anything. There's a baby attached to him. Is that correct? Like
With
he
an
has this,
umbilical cord.
yeah, he has like this metal umbilical cord attached to a baby. He picks up the baby, holds it close to his chest, and then a zoom in on his face. Norman motherfucking Reedus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus
That
and
was-
Kojima back together.
Norman Reedus.
What a happy reunion.
Yeah, I'm so glad
Yeah.
they're still getting to work together because that was
It's
just,
amazing.
yeah.
It's very
And
cool,
for this
man.
fucking project. So then you see him crying, the music's swelling up, and then like the baby disappears. He's getting like touched by ghosts, it looks like. It's very,
Yeah.
very weird. It's very ethereal. What a
Yeah.
weird trailer. He gets up, looks up in the sky. There are things in the sky. I couldn't tell what they were.
They
There are
look
people.
like people.
Yeah. It looks like floating people. Maybe they were the guys from the Kojima Productions logo. I'm not really sure. But that was it. And then it's called Death Stranding. So, holy fucking shit.
It looks spectacular. Oh,
This is a different sort of
Wait to
game.
see what it actually is, but I imagine it'll be a lot like PT.
Yeah.
really?
Do you mean horror-wise or what?
No,
is-
just in
that is-
gameplay.
He said it was a stealth
like-
action game.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
that.
I feel weird that I'm going to play a
'Cause
stealth
that's all
action game.
he ever. That's all he ever
Yeah.
makes.
Right.
Not to be the guy who has to ground us here, guys, but I'm sorry. I have to bring it back a little bit. Like this, it was a great trailer. Don't get me wrong, but it was not the best trailer in all of gaming history. Like it was.
I've never
it
been
was-
blown away by a
it was-
trailer like
it-
this. I mean theatrically. I mean
Yeah.
like in the way that
I
it's
mean-
directed. I mean in the
Right.
way that the music is done. Nothing has ever reached that level. Metal Gear trailers are always really good because
Yeah.
Kojima's a damn good director. But holy shit, I've never seen anything like this. This looks like what you would find from Kojima's inspirations in an
Yeah.
80s film if you brought them into the modern day. This is
Yeah.
some
Mhm.
weird Carpenter-esque shit, man. I'm really into it.
Carpenter, yeah.
I mean, I'm super excited for the
funny.
game. I'm glad you guys are like over the moon about it. That's that's awesome. But I don't know.
I'm with you, Dave. I'm pretty like reserved.
Don't harsh my vibe, guys.
I'm not trying
you-
to.
Live
No,
your
I'm just
life,
being an ass.
Kyle.
But
I totally,
no,
I totally respect you guys' opinions, but you're wrong.
No, yeah, I understand the notion that slow your
Yeah.
roll on it,
Don't
but
cramp my
Yeah.
style, man.
honestly, I do think it's a fucking astounding reveal at the very least.
But,
any other thoughts for the game? Because we haven't seen, what the fuck is it?
well, I think
It
if
looks
we're
gorgeous.
It does. It looks really good. I think that with Norman Reedus and Hideo Kojima working on a game together, with Mark Cerny also attached to it too. So the three of them are putting their heads together for this. I think we're looking at a potential game of the year whenever the hell it comes out.
Oh yeah, and
it looks
Yuji
like
Shinkawa or whatever that guy's
Yeah.
name is.
Yeah, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, definitely. Like I would probably put my money definitely in that.
I mean, it's a
area.
Kojima game, so it's going to garner that sort of,
Yeah.
at least respect,
Yeah.
in air quotes. So, interesting
Yeah.
game. Probably the highlight of E3 so far, just in terms of, like, shock.
Oh, yeah,
let's
well,
see.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of saw it coming, but at the same time, it was still really awesome.
Did you? Did you?
Well, I saw
I don't
this.
think anybody
coming.
saw this much coming.
Well, I saw
Yeah.
I saw like Kojima going to the Sony conference. I saw him being there. Like it was like
Yeah.
that. Whether or not Norman Reedus showing up in his game, that was the part that shocked me. I was like, holy shit, he actually did it. But
No, I know
yeah.
Kojima, like, would have showed up. I just mean the game itself. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been that, like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
a weird game.
Yeah,
Right.
very
But I'm digging the vibe a lot.
it's very Kojima. It is very very
Yeah.
Kojima.
I like it when he goes weird.
Yeah.
I really do. But the next game, because we got to keep it rolling, another very, very weird thing is happening. So, we had rumors of this earlier. Insomniac possibly could be working on a Marvel property. Lo and fucking behold, Spider-Man is coming to PS4 as an exclusive Insomniac-made game.
I'm so excited.
I was
It
on
looked
record on this
amazing.
podcast saying this isn't going to happen. So I'm eating my words.
Oh my god.
Eat 'em.
Eat them.
Eat your goddamn words, because
I'll eat them like
real
like
and
a
it's
bag of peanuts.
I am so excited for this. This is like
yeah, it looked super cool.
they're giving Insomniac development over a Spider-Man game. Like
I never thought
like,
this could happen.
Holy
This
shit!
is like a dream made
Yeah.
in heaven. Like this is a fucking perfect pairing of a property and a well-established developer. Because fuck Infamous, I don't really give two shits. They're done.
Okay, well,
Infamous can sit and live
getting a little
as
carried
what it
away there,
is.
Kyle. But
Infamous should.
Oh.
Second Son, I feel like just sort of like, if you're not going to do Cole, just leave it alone. And doing Spider-Man, are you kidding me? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
it was really really
That
good.
suit though is a little weird.
Yeah,
Weird suit.
They made some weird aesthetic choices with the suit, but I'm down to give them for them to take creative freedom on that. I think Insomniac is the best choice for kind of retaining the element of Spider-Man, like how kind of like cocky and how
Movement.
funny he is. Like
Absolutely.
they're definitely going to capture that, and then they're also going to have the great gameplay to go behind it.
Yeah.
Which,
Right.
So excited for that. That's actually like my best part of this whole conference is when I saw that. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
Holy shit!
Right. Nice. I just can't believe that. Like, okay, first off, this is happening. Second, did you guys hear the voice of Spider-Man? Was it Tom Holland?
It sounded like Tom
Sounded
Holland.
like Tom
I
Holland.
feel like yeah,
It had the Marvel logo.
Right. So I would love the fact if like they're gonna actually start bringing in the whole Marvel universe to this.
I would
I
love
find that
yeah.
doubtful, but who knows at this point, man? Who
Yeah.
knows? With the amount of shit
Yeah.
that's been going on.
I know.
What do you guys think of the trailer overall? Because I thought it was really good.
Really
thought it looked
fast,
bored.
but it was good though.
Yeah, I loved the upbeat pace of it. Like he's just swinging around, going crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's what Spider-Man fucking needs to be.
Right.
Spider-Man the movie 2. What a good game. I feel like this is just gonna raise the stakes. Let's see, what else do we got? There was
High stakes.
high stakes. Up in the sky. Where Spider-Man flings around. The Days Gone gameplay sort of ended off the show, so we already talked about that. So
Yeah, and then
Very
just
weird.
kind of abruptly ended. So
right.
I think we all know why.
we all know why, because they cut the PS4 Neo discussion. Because
Do you really think it was cut?
Yes.
it seems
Because
that
as
way.
jam-packed
100%.
as the show was, it did end almost a little bit over an hour. So I'm
Yeah,
just
well,
saying.
Nate brought this up that it was such a weird pacing thing to have a game they had shown at the beginning of the conference end the conference, and then it was kind of like
Right.
this like random aside mention. Like, granted, I'm glad that Ben is making a game, but it wasn't like the big heavy hitter of the conference.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Also, every Sony conference has always been over 90 minutes.
Oh, really?
20
Yeah,
minutes
this one
less
was
than that.
pretty short.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was like
Okay,
all three
then
of us
that's
sat
very
there.
fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
All three
I
of
can
us were there
see where you're
like,
coming
this
from.
is so short. Like, this is, like, is this over already? Like, what's going on?
I just personally was in the thinking that like it's just back to back to back stuff, so that's why it felt.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
even,
totally.
even look at
totally
the
was.
yeah, look at the show notes from this, like compared to like the Microsoft notes, like how short that is compared.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean it's, I don't know. I just like it felt really short, and honestly, it's the way that they cut off the whole thing too. Like there was really no like, there was really no big moment. Well, actually, the Spider-Man thing was the big moment, and the Kojima thing was the big moment. But like
It didn't have like Final Fantasy VII remake. It didn't have Shenmue 3. It didn't have The Last Guardian come.
It didn't have one more thing.
Yeah, there was no one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
One more thing.
So
do you find it like a disappointment then?
No, I mean, I still thought it was a. I would say that last year was probably still better. That was like.
I feel like last year's gonna live down in history.
Yeah, last year was just a huge show, and this one was still great. Don't get me wrong. But I think people are playing up the show to be like their best show ever, and I would probably disagree with that.
I think it's
that camp.
I think it's their best scheduled show.
Oh,
I think this was the best run.
There was no
program that they've
downtime.
ever done.
It was just straight through, just games for an hour, which I actually kind of like that. Like I'm not saying that like it felt weird that it was so short, but at the same time I appreciated that they didn't waste my time.
I think it was missing that human element though.
Yeah,
that's
it was like nobody.
It felt a little weird. Yeah, so this was a very different show than last year because last year they came out, they hyped themselves up, they talked about stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember, like we were talking about, I think on Microsoft's show, we were like, oh, I just want them to like treat it like a press event again. Don't try and entertain us like Ubisoft did, where they take a 2-hour show to announce like barely anything, right?
Yeah.
And so this announced quite a bit, but just crammed it into such a small amount of time. And I definitely feel like they were going for a very intentional vibe, like, oh, games are art. Look at this. We have a live orchestra. We're at the Shrine Auditorium where everything looks very classy. We got this giant curtain. We're not going to make it like Xbox where everything looks like a fucking goofy TV game show, Like that's just very intentional.
I mean,
no, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I've always loved how Xbox does their show.
Yeah.
But it's just a very different vibe over at Sony, and I think they're intentionally going down this path. Whether they do it again next year, who knows? But I also want to add one more point before we close things up.
Right.
Games that we didn't see, what you guys think, because the only games that we didn't see that I'm very, very excited about, Persona 5, we did not see. Gravity Rush 2, Yakuza 6. I know they're probably saving a lot of stuff for PSX, but I just want to know, what games are you excited for that we're not seeing?
Well, I mean, Persona 5 is going to be potentially my game of 2017. It was supposed to be my game of 2016. So,
yeah.
So I'm 100% positive they're going to show something at PSX because that's literally 2 months from Persona 5's release. Yeah, there's that. And what else? I mean, they didn't show that. That's the 3 games they didn't show. That's really of those 3. That's the only one I really care about.
Yeah. Are you telling me you don't care about Yakuza or Gravity Rush?
I didn't play Gravity Rush, and I don't really care about Yakuza, to be honest.
Get your shit together, man. Can you guys think of any other games that weren't there that you were expecting? Maybe not expecting, but just wanting.
Destiny.
What did you say?
Destiny.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
there was. I was
Nothing from
expecting
Destiny.
more Destiny stuff, and we got none of it. So that was a
Do you
little.
think
That was
that's
a little
why?
strange.
Do you think that's why the live stream went on?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they weren't going anywhere else?
What? No, well, I mean, they were going to do the live stream anyway because they want to talk directly to the fans. But I was expecting them to kind of elaborate on the. They've said that there's going to be PlayStation exclusive stuff. I was expecting them to elaborate on them, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So,
Very interesting. Like, it wasn't plastered. Like, the show was not plastered with that stupid logo that they made last year. It's like PlayStation exclusive content or PlayStation exclusive game and PlayStation exclusive whatever. Like,
Yeah, that was
4 different categories of exclusive.
that was downplayed a lot this time around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it felt like they were intentionally trying something very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it though. I appreciated it. I don't know if it's weird because like if every show from Sony is just like this from now on, I don't know if I'll miss the days where they're talking about spreadsheets and stuff and they're
Well, that's my point. Actually, we were talking about that at the Ubisoft after our Ubisoft episode, and I brought up the Xbox one where they kind of just like rifled through everything, but they just had more to talk about. I like this new format they're doing where they're not necessarily wasting our time. They're just like, they're just going through everything, and they're not giving us a lot of breathing room, and they're just saying, hey, this is everything that's coming out. Here's a bunch of games, have fun, and that's
I feel like Xbox didn't change anything though.
Well, yeah, Xbox.
They've been fairly the same
ever since Phil Spencer took over. That's pretty much been how they've been doing it.
I feel like for years it's just been before, like I remember in 2007, 2008, they were just hyping themselves and showing like, oh, this is how many Xbox 360s we sold this quarter and this year.
Well, Kyle, they did fall into the same thing that Sony fell into, where they were hyping the Kinect and all that crap, and they were like, everyone get off your
exactly
Just Dance, and I was like, oh fuck my life.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing. I feel like people are going into E3 like, oh, they're going to talk to us, and that's redefining the show in a very in like a way that E3 doesn't want to happen. So I am eventually expecting E3 to open its doors again, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
Last thoughts on Sony's press conference. What do you guys got?
I thought it was the best conference of E3.
Absolutely.
I think short.
Is that just a given?
No, I would contest that, but I'll say short and sweet and to the point, and I liked it.
Okay, well, what do you mean you would contest that? I want to know.
I honestly think Microsoft had just as good of a conference in a different way. They showed hardware, they showed a bunch of great games, and it was much more, I guess, it was a very consistent, solid show. And I really thought they had a good show there.
Xbox felt laid back. Sony felt very prim and proper.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sony was just trying to get to the goods.
Yeah.
And Microsoft's like, well, let's just take some time. Let's show you some cool trailers. Let's have some fun.
And I guess my opinion of all this is kind of colored by the fact that a lot of those games are cross-launching for Windows 10 on Xbox.
So you'll be able to get them on the PC.
I'm very happy about that. So that kind of colors my vision of all of this. But whereas PS4, news. It's like, oh right, here's a bunch of reasons I have to go buy another $400 piece of plastic.
You get mad at me for wanting to buy an Xbox Scorpio, not wanting you to buy one. Anyways, guys, this has been a very, very fun thing to do covering E3 like this. So next week we're actually going to be wrapping up and going back to our predictions. Can't wait to see how bad I failed, but I'm really happy we did this. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was
Hopefully
awesome.
We'll be able to do it again next year. E3, always a blast. But we still got a couple more days to go. Whether you're hearing this, I'm assuming it's going to be going up at some point tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the day after we record this.
We're going to be churning these out, so...
Right. There's still a couple of announcements probably still come because the YouTube shows have been going. It's been having like small announcements dripping throughout. Like, for instance, Phantom Dust, a whole remaster for that game is coming up. But
cool.
Not to mention Nintendo's doing whatever Nintendo's doing tomorrow.
Exactly. I don't expect anything from that, like announcement-wise.
Yeah.
We'll have stuff to talk about next week for sure.
Yeah.
Lots of crazy stuff going on. But thank you guys for watching over at home. Geek Tank is very happy that you joined us over our E3 2016 predictions. You can find us here over at YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, possibly. Trying to figure that one out. But podcast services all across the globe, you can find us. Please give us a rate. Leave us something to let you know that you like us, because we want to know. Subscribe, and always make sure to check back every single week for the Geek Tank. We post episodes on Tuesday. Normally, this has been a very obviously weird week for us. In our second week of production, we just throw the fucking wrench in the system. But we'll be back to normal, having shows go up on Tuesday every single week. And we will see you next time. So thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.